So, this is your Sapa speaking here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel in beautiful suburban Boca Raton. Now, we came through a very beautiful prayer where the end of the prayer went like this: called Sarasam Lotzar. In all of the pains of the Jewish people, this is also a tsar for Hashem. Malach Panav Hoshiam, and let it be the Malach of his face, as the face is Lashon kindness. Save the Jewish people. B'chavasa, in his love, Uvachem Lasuch, and his pity, his feeling for us. Uga'alach v'yanad, that he will redeem them. V'yanad them, and take them. V'yanasem, and lift them up, bear them. Kol Yemei Olam, as long as the world exists. And then it goes into V'ne'amar. Now, yesterday we started talking about something that if people haven't learned the Idris, so you're missing a lot about what's going on in Erich Anpin. Yesterday we started talking about the beard of Erich Anpin. Now, the whole process of Erich Anpin, which is really a level by which we could picture this in our minds, and that's what we ask you to do, is to picture these things in your mind. At the center of everything, there is a center. Let's say that again. In the center of everything is a center, and you could keep going on the center that to it. A pinpoint, smallest possible center is the source of a tremendous energy that is created all. Comes from the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, which you have no idea, but that we could see how the pattern would work. So the light, the idea is that the Ein Sof Baruch Hu is nothing. And so it's how do you make something out of nothing? And that's the whole process of understanding Kabbalah. Because by understanding, but the Re helps us, and we have the Rashash here in pictorial form. We really have to think about all these different things. Is the hismatus of this light, because as long as the light exists, our physicality does not. Our physicality is really it's very elusive. We are a congealing of forces, but we see that physicality doesn't last. So therefore, we're reaching up, because when we feel pain, the pain is felt everywhere. So we need help. We'll try to understand what's going on here. Now, through hismatus of the light, through the head of Erich Anpin, let's say the most pneumistic aspect of Erich Anpin, which is, I said, the center of centers, so to speak. We have hismatus of the light through the various different openings. And the flows the light into the beard of Erich Anpin. And this is where we focus now, because the beard of Erich Anpin shapes everything that will come out from it. It's like, say, take a rock and throw it into a still pond. And that rock is what's coming through Erich Anpin here. It's the light of the Ein Sof, but it is molded. And Erich Anpin is anthropomorphic. That is, as a human being, if we looked at Erich Anpin as a person, and this is all mental, not as a real person, but as a structural, what we call Rosh Toch Sof, like he has a body, and he has his feet on the ground. Now that is like the same thing if you ever look at the picture of the stars and the constellations, and how they're made in the constellation. The astronomers draw lines between them, and you could see where the constellations. You see all those billions of stars. How do they pick out those ones? Well, this is the template for how this all comes about. And so let's go and bring this hismatus. It's much less of the light of the Ein Sof than ever was before, through the beard of Erich Anpin, which are strands like spaghetti noodles that are hollow on the inside. And they have different positions. There are 13 of them. They're called the Tikkuni Dikta of Erich Anpin. So also Anpin also has a dikna too. It's another story. But over here, we're going to actually look at all of the 13 tikkunim of the beard of Erich Anpin, because at this point in the davening, what we're going to try to do is zero in on the path by which we receive the light of the Ein Sof. And he says that we could go in our minds to the place of the beard of Erich Anpin. Now, this beard, as I said before, is more like a straw, more a series of straws. It's a beard, but we look at the beard here as being hollow on the inside. And so therefore it has an inside, the light that is mismayit, is minimized over here in Erich Anpin. That light has two qualities. And in Olam Latzilus, which is Erich Anpin, is Olam Latzilus, and everything that's going on there is going to be a template for everything that goes on everywhere. We have therefore this is a piece from Micha, where it says, Mi Kel Kamocha Nose Avam Over Al Pesha. Then underneath it, in smaller print, is the words Kel, Rachum, V'Chanum. Now, everybody probably who's familiar with Torah is probably knows where we're going here. So the Rashash and the Rav, is actually from the Rav, explains that Mi Kel Kamocha refers first to the Penimius of the ore that is actually traveling through the dikna, that is the beard of Erich Anpin. In Aramaic, you change the Zion to a Dalet. So instead of Zikna, it's Dikna. Same thing. So anyways, Mi Kel Kamocha represents the light on the inside. And it turns out that that light is inside of another light, which is called Kale. So Kale is the light on the outside. Mi Kel Kamocha is the light on the inside. Now, what we're able to see, that's what they're directing us towards, is we're only able to see really this part. It's easier for us, so we say it every day if you're daven Nusach Sfard or Sfardi or Ari. So let's take a look at what's on the page, the various different pages. So on the very right side, because I guess you took on the right side, now remember we're going to be going through all of these 13, they're called the 13 Midos, but they're also called the 13 Tikkuni Dikna of the beard of Erich Anpin. Lots of different hats here. So there, first on the outside, it looks like as we go downwards, and we'll see the whole page too. And then there's another page right behind it. Whoops, isn't there? Right behind it. And we're going to go through all of these tikkunim, till we get to the end. And it's way down here with a lot of stuff going on here. So we'll try to figure it out, see where the Rashash is leading us. So we'll look at them. We'll look at them one at a time. So I guess let's look at it like this. So if we look at one at a time, it starts out with the Or Penimi is these letters. Mi Kel Kamocha. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I don't know much about it, is that the vocalization, the vowels are important. So they also have a numerical value. The dots are all tens. And then the vav is a 6. That is the top of the comments is a 6. So you look around and you say 1, this is 10, 20, 30. That dot down here is 40, 46, 47. Let me go back. 10, 20, 30, 46, or 10 more, 56, 66, and 6, 72. So we know that's the name of Av. Just a little discovery, if just by taking my time. Okay, so this is also the gematria, that is the vocalization is gematria 72. Now the letters by themselves, like you say, they could potentially be more, make different words, different ideas. But this is the gematria that really takes the essence of them. So here it is that mi kel kamocha, and it's surrounded by the name Kale. Let's go down another one. Then after mi kel kamocha, in that mecha, it says nose avon, bears sin. That's the inside. Now what we're doing is we're going through like a stepladder process, but we're going to see how this actually works out. So he says, Nose avon, and then on the outside of it is rachum, v'over al pesh, on the outside of that is chanun, l'sheres nachalaso, on the outside of that is Erich, and then we have lo hechzik la'ad apo, will not hold forever his anger. And that's surrounded by apayim. Ki chafetz chesed hu. So that's chesed, v'rav chesed goes along with the outside, goes along with chesed. That is the sixth tikkun. We're going to take a look at them again. Yashuv Yerachamenu. That's surrounded by the emes. Yikvosh Avanosenu. That's surrounded by the Mazel Elyon, which is the Mazel Shmini. We'll talk about that. Notzer Chesed. That's surrounded by Notzer Chesed. So we have to imagine that we're in Atzilus, and in Atzilus it is a world, we're looking at it. It's a world of letters. It's a world of Nekudim. Now, there is, thinking about all the things I've learned at different places in Shartanta, in the Otros Chaim, there are Tamim Nekudos, Tagim, and Osios, Tanta, it's called. Anyway, then it goes Vasashlik b'Metsudos Lan, sent it into the depths of the sea. Kol hachatosim, all of their sins. Now there's a whole thing that goes on over here. We're going to be looking at it, but first things first, we'll just finish this off. And it says Titan emes the Yaakov, give truth to Yaakov, and that's surrounded by the letters Nun, Shin, and Avon, which is Nose Avon. Chesed LaAvraham, surrounded by Pesha. Asher Nishbata Labosenu, so surrounded by V'chator. So this is what it is. Does it make sense? I'm not sure that it's the kind of thing that really subjects itself to that unless you see the whole thing over and over again. It's possible that we'll all fit together, and we're going to try to do a little bit. So Mi Make Adam is where it ends, and it's surrounded by the concept of a Nake. So what you're looking at here is a prayer. Okay, so that's a prayer. And what it does is it shows you, as I said, you learn this in the Idris, the flow of the light that comes through the zakan, they call it a dekna, of Erich Anpin. Now, let's look at it a little bit more. Let's go to the far right. So he says what you have here is you have a makif and you have a panimi. On this phrase where we said that the kale surrounds the mi kale kamocho, these all represent light. That is, the light of the Ein Sof shines through these letters in this way. That's the way I can understand it. So every light, that's the or here, has a makif and a panimi. Then it says the or is a yud, and the kli is an aleph. So I'm not sure what that meant. Let's go to the left side. He said tikkun kadmo, which is this tikkun. And this is what it looks like. Once again, the interior light and the exterior light. He said tikkun kadmo the digdal de Erich Anpin shuhu sa'aros sheba meitzer hazakan. So he says that these are the hairs that are found on the beard of Erich Anpin that are really on the corners of the meitzer, the narrow space, like when your sideburns come down, of the zakan. Shatachas Pesia Rosh, which is underneath the pea, which is an area, like say, right next to the ear, or that kind of area right in there, but the ear, you could divide it up. So anyway, it comes under the Pesia Rosh. And then that's the spot. On the beard of Erich Anpin, that's where these names go together. This is the level of light at this place. Now, as we said before, that I still have to try to figure this out. This column over here has got me stumped, so we'll just see some more of it. We'll try to see if we can figure it out. After this, we go to Nosei Avon, surrounded by Rachom. And he says this is the Tikkun Tinyoah. This is the second Tikkun. It's the second level of Hismatus of the light. The Dikna de Erich Anpin, which is the Safa Elyon, is the upper lip. Now, as we said before, that the Rav has no problem and encourages us to anthropomorphize, I'm not sure I got the right word here, to make it as human as possible to understand it, because he always says that from my body I can see God. Meaning that you could use your body as a metaphor to understand, again, the head, the feet on the ground, and the body in between. This is also the way that light flows. So that's what we're looking at. So along that beard now, imagine this bearded Erich Anpin. So we're in the second tikkun of the dikna of Erich Anpin. This is the upper lip, and over here it says, look, it has a makif, which he says is yesod and on the outside and chesed on the inside. The or, which is going to go into the kli, is a hey yud, and the kli looks like it too, hey yud. That's all I can do is report it. Let's go to the next one. Then it says v'over pesha. This is surrounded by the word v'chanon, which means gracious. So he says it has two lights. It has an or makif, which are actually two makifim, but at any rate, which he says is the makif of hod. And inside of that, the panimi is a light, which is a panimi is gevura. So then he says the or is a vav, which a gematria, this one is a gematria of 22, all the letters, it's the way it's spelled it, vav is 12 plus 10 is 22, all the 22 letters, the or goes into the kli, which is the yud. So I'll just report it, let's just try to understand it. I think I'll look at it without thinking through it, just see what it's doing. So this is over a pesha, overlooks pesha, v'chanom and gracious. Tikuni to this saw, this is the third segment of the beard. At the dikna de Erich Anpin, which is urcha, this is actually the place, shebesafa al yono, that's in between the lips. If you look at a mustache, you'll see that right below the middle line, there's a middle there, where The hair doesn't grow so much. It's like a pathway. Over a pasha. So he says this is the makif called hod. Now, looking at it more, let's start looking at the makifs. So going down to the bottom where we're going to get to now is the first is the makif called malchus. Then the makif called yesod. Then the makif called hod. And now we're in the makif called netzach. Now this, when we talk about the or, it spells the name Yud K Vav K I don't know how many times. It says Yud K Vav K, like that. I don't know how many times. We'll see it on the next page, God willing. Well, let's look at the next page. We just got to see it. And now it is Yud K Vav. So here I am having trouble. I went, let's say, Yud, the or is K, then the or is Vav. So here he says begins the Kesser. Apparently it's got a different makeup. Okay, we have to get to that. So let's go back. So we could do some of this today. We could do some the next time. We'll see how it works out. He says, we get down here, we did Avor Pasha, so the light on the inside is contained in these three words. And remember that we've seen before earlier that these dots, they all add up too. So exactly how or what you're supposed to do with them, I don't know. I'm just looking at it. So we get to a place of the Sheris, which is a Nachalos, of the remnant of his Nachalo. That is surrounded by the word Erich. This is Tikkun Rpremier. This is the fourth Tikkun. The Dikna Erich Anpin Shuhu Safa Tachtoina, which is the lower lip. I think we'll do this one and then we'll come back. Let's see. I started numbering them from way back then. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it gets confusing over here. But it's going to come back and we're going to be able to pick it up, I think. So I think we'll stop here at number 5. With God's help. We'll look at it again. And we'll see a different look at it tomorrow as the world turns.